Hi, I'm Nick Clarke. I'm the MD of Cyrus Audio based in Huntingdon in the UK. Cyrus is a very historic UK brand, initially a spin-off of Mission in 1984, so close to our 40th anniversary, which is obviously a big deal. We've been, as I say, based in the UK the entire time. We build all our products in the UK, we design all our products in the UK, and we specialise in high-end 2-channel amplifiers and CD players. So my personal history in audio, apart from a brief dalliance with industrial lasers measuring sugar purity, I've worked in audio my entire working life. So I started off with Audiolab as a test technician, worked my way up to run the engineering department there. That was then bought by Tag McLaren Audio, so I worked there for 5 years. I then moved on to IAG, so worked on brands such as Quad and Wharfedale. From there I moved to Arcam, which was obviously another prestigious UK brand. That was in turn acquired by Harman International, so I've also worked on brands such as Mark Levinson, JBL Synthesis, Revel, amongst others, and now Cyrus. What really drew me to Cyrus and to sort of make the change from working for a large corporate is it's a small engineering-led company that's everything's got a reason. You know, if you can point at any part of the product and say that's there because of this. So it's, you know, very close to my heart to have some honesty in the design, something where you can really say, yes, I know it's not cheap, but it's this expensive because, and that's why it's so good. I think your typical Cyrus customer is someone who understands that the quality of the audio, understands the quality of the engineering, and also is appreciative of the slightly different form factor. You know, the compact boxes that we have fit into a lifestyle now that's a bit more, we're sort of lacking in space, and it just fits a little better into that lifestyle. Actually, we're still, you know, selling, and it's very popular. Our CD players are one of our most popular products now in this world of streaming, and don't get me wrong, streaming is very important. There's clearly still a customer who enjoys that physical media, the ownership, and it's something that Cyrus has spent a lot of time engineering. We call the concept of what we've developed servo evolution, and it's very much about reading the data right first time off a disc versus relying on error correction, sample and hold to cover up some of the errors that can happen when reading a CD. Typically there's about 20% less errors when you read a disc from a Cyrus CD player than a typical alternate product. When an error occurs on a CD, there are obviously a number of systems in place to hide that from the end user. So it might do a sample and hold, it might interpolate between the data that it missed. So it'll basically fill in the gaps. Now the problem with that is that's an approximation. It's a guess, it's a very good guess, but it's a guess nonetheless. By reading the data right first time more than you don't, you're giving a much more accurate representation of what is on the disc. And actually, when you're listening to music, it's all in those tiny micro details that really get your emotions going. You know, it's those things that are almost imperceptible that once you've lost them, they're gone. So if you can retain those or reproduce them as accurately and faithfully as possible, you're going to connect that listener much closer to the music than you would do otherwise. I think the future is very bright for Cyrus, and we've recently signed up with Bluos for a streaming platform. So that product is going very well. We've got some prototypes up and running, so we're exactly where we need to be with that project. We're also looking to expand the amplifier range that we have, so some more power amps coming, an external power supply for the flagship XR range, and we're not that far away from our 40th anniversary, so there might be a couple of surprises in the next year or so, so watch this space. I'm not going to say too much more about that.